Oh, well, going to that projection lesson kind of reminded me about the narcissistic family dynamic. Now, there's he's like a counselor that I see on the YouTube, and he's pretty wise. And he really goes into the narcissistic family. And I like watching him. And the reason I like watching him is you can definitely tell that he's genuine and that he went through it, which is why he has so much experience in the matter. And he talks about this thing about how in the narcissistic family dynamic we have a role, and when you go back to the family, even after you've spent a lot of time apart, a phenomenon, a weird thing happens, and we all start to just go back to our role that we were in. And he calls it the family Wi-Fi. And yeah, that happens. That really does happen. And as someone who's survived a narcissistic family, now I'm going to go ahead and say, I very much believe that if you come from a Masonic family, you are a victim of a narcissistic family. Why? Because what they do in the Masonic, in their rituals and what they teach, it turns you into a narcissist. Okay? You could very much be turned into a narcissist. And the Masonic culture does that. Okay? That's my opinion and theory on the matter. That's why you see so much of the same behavior in the Masonic family. But anyway, I digress. And going to the point of the family Wi-Fi. And I'll give an example. I talked about how I hadn't seen my family in years. And how, distant relatives like my cousins and aunts and uncles, multiple years I'll go without contact. And when I even say when we see each other, it's like we see each other once or twice, 1 day or 2 days, and then we won't see each other for years after that. No contact. We're not close at all. Never have been. But going back to that family Wi-Fi, yeah, I can definitely see that. Because I noticed whenever I would see them, it would seem like we would revert back to the old ways when we were kids. Some of that old bad behavior. And being the scapegoat of the family, you notice that comes back too. So, just wanted to bring that up. I think the last time I saw him, it was like a family get-together up in the mountains. We saw each other for like 3 days. Didn't even really hang out that much. It was like we were just in the same house, Wasn't really like we were spending that much time together. And, I've always been, I've always wanted that. How families will be close. I've always wanted that because I always felt like that was something we never had. But when I realized, what sickness that our family had, I realized that we're never gonna be like that. And to be honest, it's better for me to not have that with them. Maybe one day I'll have, that's why I want to make my own family, right? That's why I'm working on making my own family the way that I'd like for it to be, with genuine love and not any of this narcissistic competitiveness that it isn't even real. We'll never have a Masonic dynamic here in this family. Not in my household. Never. I'm very much counter that. And you know what's going to happen? We're going to grow. Yep. And they're going to hate it. They're going to see it and they're going to hate it because it's going to go counter to everything that they believe. But, guys, that's how you break the curse. That's how we're going to break the curse.